and welcome to another video for Auto Solutions Checkpoint. And today we're going to be doing a review on the Toyota Hilux. Yes, I'm taking a trip to the dark side. As you know, the L200 is like the, I would say it's equivalent, but a lot of people would say the L200 is the lesser, which is probably right. But I've always favoured Mitsubishi. But the L200 does get a good ride up, but the Toyota Hilux gets a better ride up. So I want to see for myself what the Toyota Hilux is all about, because I don't really have much experience with the Toyota Hilux. So hope you enjoy the video and keep tuned. Well, I've just picked it up. It's a 2023 Hilux, and it is the most poverty spec Hilux I have ever seen. Steel wheels on it, it doesn't have sidebars, I don't have a canopy at the back. This has just been a replacement while my L200 is in getting repaired, because it got damaged the way back in the 2nd of December where the steering got wrecked, the bumper and the wing. So this is a hire vehicle, and I thought it'd be a good idea to do a review on them, because I've not had much experiences with the new ones. It would make good content for you guys. Only had it about a half an hour, and to be honest, I'm not very impressed with this spec, but that is only because my L200 is a really good spec. It's also got a reverse camera as well, which is handy. This here one doesn't. The stereo on it is, I don't know, very basic, and I don't know, it's got cloth seats too. It's a tidy enough looking motor, it would do the job, and you know, everything seems well put together, I think. Kinda. Armrest that covers the storage is a bit flimsy. The glove compartment opened by itself as well whenever I was driving. You know, I would say it's quite cheaply put together, but these make a premium price. So 2 glove compartments, and I was wondering where the airbag was, because I couldn't understand it where the airbag was, but I noticed afterwards at the far side of that it says airbag, so airbag's going to come out of here. Now I don't know whether if the airbag does go off on this you can replace the top part separately. I doubt very much. On the modern cars it's the full dashboard. I'll switch it off and I'll let you see the display that it has. So it's got your wee Hilux. And you can also put it in eco. You can economy. It's a manual. I just feel that it's very basic just compared to what I'm used to. But I think I'll continue this review when I get back, because I need to collect my trailer and drop something off and then collect. I've got a Subaru STI to collect in the afternoon. Really not feeling up to it. I have literally been bedbound from Friday night all the way through. It's now Monday morning. I am feeling rough. I never take time off for sickness ever, and I've been knocked for 6 from Friday night all the way through in my bed, and it's annoying because like my kids really wanted to come and spend time with me up in the room, whatever, but I kept having to send them away because I wasn't feeling well. The big one, she's sick, she understood, but my wee boy, he couldn't understand how he couldn't get cuddles. So annoying. But I've established it's not COVID, but whatever the hell it is, I've never experienced this. I'm never bedbound. Back to the lecture at hand. I'll continue with my day and then I'll get this review done afterwards. Alright. Well, this is my first time towing with this Hilux. Am I impressed? Not really. I really miss my L200, but it does exactly what it says in the tin, but it's the poverty spec that's put me off. There's no reverse cameras, there's nothing. I don't have a canopy, anything like that. It's just very basic inside, but at the end of the day, it is what it is. I was supposed to get a like for like vehicle while my one was in getting repaired, and I ended up getting the poverty spec. But hey ho, it is what it is, and I can still work and just get on with it. So it tow's okay for this year, to be honest. It's not a struggle, but like, look at that terrible steel wheel. But hey ho, it is what it is. Just gotta take the bad with the good and the good with the bad. But I'll get this dropped off. This is actually a job I done for free for one of my good friends. It was in a Subaru garage in Falkirk, and the guy unfortunately passed away back in November. And they were basically trying their best to find the owner of it, but because my friend isn't really online and nobody really knew, I actually seen the guy that was trying to find him, so I was able to get in touch with my friend and authorise going to collect it. So that's it sorted out for them. But I would say the Hilux has done pretty well. It's like automatic 4-wheel drive, which I'm not too keen on myself. I would prefer to have full control of it myself without it chipping in, because like a gadget like that was annoying for me, but hey ho. But it is what it is. This is a 2023 Toyota Hilux, and it's not very impressive, but it'll do, I suppose. Just hopefully I don't have it that long. Right, that's all the straps off, and just going to get it started and get it off. Not feeling too confident with the vehicle, to be honest. I don't really like it personally. I've had it a week so far, and it isn't a scratch on the L200, but make what you like. I'm quite happy with my L200, and this, I don't know, it doesn't help that it's a poverty pack one, but hey ho. Toyota are moving with the times. Like, don't get me wrong, the thing drives good. It's got plenty of power as well, and it's got an eco mode as well. I don't really drive about fast in my L200 anyway, so eco mode, aye, it's great, but at the end of the day, with me, it's all about miles per gallon as opposed to miles per gallon, because I feel if you can't afford to run a big vehicle like that, don't buy it. You know, this was my argument years ago with the LPG. People getting LPG in big, flipping 5-6 litre V8, whatever, and it's like, really, you kidding me on? Why would you buy such a big vehicle if you couldn't afford to run it? But hey ho, each to their own. And silver is quite hard to keep clean. It just seems to be, you look at it and it gets dirty. It's not really picking it up in the video, but this is absolutely pigging. It's bogging. I love the aggressive look at the front, give it its due, but it's really needing big mudguards and big oversized wheels and a lift in the suspension, and it's really needing side steps. It's got a great sized tub in the back. Find it quite funny, it's got the shark fin at the top, but yet it doesn't give you a sat nav. That shark fin will be for reading the road signs, I bet. anyway, this Hilux I've had for 9 days and I've not warmed up to it at all. I really miss the L200, hands down. Hilux is just not for me. It gets worse as the days progress. This morning it was -6 and I discovered that it doesn't have a heated windscreen, and I actually timed to clear the screen with just using the heat and whatever settings that they give you to actually see how long it would take to clear the windscreen, and literally, I'm not exaggerating, it was about a half an hour. You know, it's just lucky I had that time this morning just to mess about. It's ridiculous. Just telling you about the four-wheel drive system, it was like automatic. Like you can hear something going on underneath, see if you go on to like different terrain or whatever. I'm not too sure. It is what it is. I actually discovered the four-wheel drive system does have buttons on the dash, the wee tweeters and that, and I have tried them. Like, give it its due, it's good on different terrain, but my heart lies with the L200, and I know there's people shouting at their phones and their screens, their computer screens and that, saying, oh, you're wrong, mate, it is what it is. And luckily I got the text message through this morning to tell me that the L200's got to go ahead to get fixed, so they're not going to be writing it off. I had it in my head they probably would, because it's a 67 plate, you know, and what was needing done would work out quite expensive, but obviously they've seen value in it, and that'll be the car back to normal, hopefully. I want to get the lift kit on it next, and get the nice arches on as well, and then eventually get them nice new wheels that I spent all that money on, get them on. By that time the winter will be over, but as long as the vehicle looks good, I'm in two minds what to do. You know, my missus thinks I should sell it. Before I head back with this vehicle, obviously I'll need to know when I need to put it back. I'll need to get it in and get a little mini billet, which I really think I shouldn't, because whenever I picked this year one up, I had kind of lightly cleaned it, but it was absolutely honking. You know, I went to adjust the steering and it was mocket. Like, I don't know whether it's cement or cigarette ash or what. I really don't know. But it just seemed like lightly cleaned, and there you go. Obviously I wasn't expecting it to be immaculate whenever I got it, but it was honking. You know, and see, once the smell of air freshener went away, I could actually smell weed, which I found that quite annoying, considering I don't smoke or do anything like that. But it annoys me if somebody's actually hired that vehicle and they've been smoking that stuff in it. I would be raging. See, if I was a hire company and I get the vehicle back like that, I would actually be billing the people that did it. It's disgusting. Some folk are absolute morons out on the road, but we'll not get into that. It'd be like settling a political debate at a comedy show. I actually linked the head unit to my phone as well. It's garbage. The volume is garbage. I feel all I've done is moan about this vehicle, but I just say it how I see it. Now, just so that you see that I'm not going off my bloody head, this is what it does when you're driving. It's like, you've been driving along and then it puts itself into a regeneration. I can't, I'm out in the motorway. It's slow moving traffic, rush hour, and it's put me into regeneration. Absolute bundle. This is like the 4th time this is attempted to do it with me. I don't even like it. I definitely don't think I'm the right person to be reviewing the Hilux. Compared to what I've got, I think this is awful, and I feel it's that awful. I've been past a few times with other Hiluxes, better specs as well, and they're just kind of looking like, oh, cool, it's better. You know, they've got their side steps and they've got their arches, and, you know, probably better spec inside as well. I don't know, I just don't think I'm giving this one a fair trial. In comparison, my loyalties lie with the L200. I can see the benefits of having something like this, and I can say, yeah, they've got their following or whatever. This particular model is more geared for the farmer, you know, just the bare minimum, just to cart the sheep about or whatever. And I've noticed, like, obviously for drink holders and that, it's got 2 drink holders. Well, it's got 1 drink holder right in the centre, and I thought to myself that was a bit stingy, you know, they haven't given us a bit to hold the cups. And then I discovered the other day when the missus was riding this, she's obviously been pricking about with things and pressing things and whatever, and there's, like, I don't know, 2 wee hidden compartments right below the heater vent on the left and the right, and it holds your coffees. Now, it's revolting because for a hire company not actually cleaning these things properly, you know, I would be upset if it was my hire company, but there's actually mould inside both of them, you know, where people have had juice or coffee or whatever it was, and it's all manky. It's so dirty. I noticed up on the roof, it's got a wee bit for SOS, just in case you run into difficulty. Like, I think my difficulty would be, oh my god, I'm in a Toyota Hilux and I don't like it, rescue me. But on the flip side, I'll be getting my L200 back. They're saying roughly on the 19th I'll be getting it back, and I'll be really looking forward to it because I have missed it. Discovered, see this DPF, right? The DPF apparently goes every 180 miles, right? So you can be driving along and it regenerates every 180 miles. Now I could be wrong, I could have looked up my wrong bit, but that's what it said on the video that I watched, 180 miles. So basically you have to drive at 40 mile an hour at 1800 revs per minute, whatever, which is something like that. It just seems ridiculous, you know. I would rather have it planned out where I can actually just do it. It comes up, needs a regen, so that you have time to prepare for it, not just through up, or you're doing a DPF regen. That regen might not get hot enough, or you might not be able to do 40 mile an hour. Just look at the way it happened with me. I was getting into a DPF regen whenever I was on the motorway. Now, luckily, 40 mile an hour, it was quite slow moving traffic or whatever, but I was stop, start, and I ended up just pulling over at a lay-by and hoped for the best. I was waiting like 15 minutes, thankfully, and it had done what it needed to do. But I don't know if I can't move with the times, but I'm not liking modern technology. You know, buying that L200 of mine, I found was way too modern for me, but I learned to deal with it. This thing, it's got eco mode. It's like vegan's paradise, you know. I'm giving this a bad trial, but hey ho, it is what it is, and I gotta be honest, I just gotta say how it is. I feel this spec is awful. Now, I think possibly down the line I'll maybe try a better spec one, but this year one, no, it's a no-go. It's awful. It's not me at all. It's too basic, and I like my creature comforts. What I really don't like is it doesn't have a heated windscreen. It kind of leaves you in the lurch whenever, just say for instance, you want to move off quick in the morning time, you know, it's not going to back you up. You know, half an hour to defrost the windscreen. That's ridiculous. You know, it's like one step forward, 20 back with the technology. You know, for all it would cost to actually make a windscreen heated, I think that's ridiculous. So I just feel every time I put the video on it's something negative, but on a plus side, being fair, it does have a pretty good off-road system, right? And I don't think it's going to get you stuck in a hurry. I think it seems fair in that respect. I don't think it'll get you stuck, but I don't know. I prefer to do things myself and select things myself and that. This year one, when it starts making noises whenever you go into like a different terrain, it's doing it for you. No likey. We'll start within the back. So it's got electric windows, central locking of course, It's not really 100% a poverty spec, but it is a poverty spec. Adjustable headrests all round. Isofix. I think nearly every car has them now. I think it's compulsory. So it is roomy enough in the back. I wouldn't say it's massively roomy. That would be the leg room in the back if you were driving behind me, so it's not too bad unless you were a giant. Jesus handles are standard, and it's also got the hooks at the top for hanging your jacket up. Courtesy light in the front. I thought the seats don't look too bad, but if you see over in the passenger side, it folds over, and I would expect seats to be a wee bit more hard wearing than that, because years ago it took a lot of miles to get your seat looking like that, and this is only on 15,000 miles. So what I thought was pretty nifty with this, it could secret compartments for your juice. I did not know that they were there. I assumed there was no airbag in this because there's a glove compartment and you've also got another glove compartment. So I was like, nah, this should have another airbag, but I stood corrected. It's the airbags up here. So clock hazard lights. The head unit is very basic, but it's got your Bluetooth on it as well, but it doesn't have DAB, which is a bit disappointing. Piano black. It is pretty nifty, but obviously you've got your wee bit where you can put your USB and your phono as well. You can adjust the brightness of the stereo too. So the heat settings are decent enough, but obviously I'd said to you before about the heated front screen. It doesn't have a heated front screen, as you can see. Right, poverty spec. So up ahead you've got your sunglass holder. You've also got like a wee secret compartment that you can pull across and press if you end up in an emergency. You can get assistance that way. Courtesy lights, but you can tell it is 110% poverty spec because it doesn't have any courtesy mirrors or lighting. I don't know what this is, but I would assume this might have something to do with this, so I can't be too sure. Adjustable Jesus handles, no, they're fixed. And you've also got ones over here too. The 4x4 settings are over here. Now before I noticed that, was basically manoeuvring from solid road terrain onto grass, and you can hear something electrical changing in the vehicle, and that was changing terrain so that the vehicle knew that you were going under grass or whatever. Right, so I've had them in all settings, and see, to be honest, I prefer my L200, just being honest. And it's got eco mode as well, so if you're going slow enough you can put it in eco mode and save a bit of money in your vehicle. And it's got the power button as well, so that'll give you a wee bit of oomph with the pedal. The bit I like about this vehicle, now obviously it's hard to say, I love my L200, but the dash on this I do think's quite funky. The steering wheel's quite funky and comfortable, and the dash display is quite impressive. However, I'm not big on the AdBlue carry on. I don't want a vehicle with AdBlue, but at the end of the day this is a higher, and also it regens every 180 miles, which unless you know about that, it can give you a bit of a fright whenever it comes on. But yeah, it's a decent enough display, nice controls on the steering wheel, and just obviously the wear and tear on this seat. But at the end of the day, L200s are just as bad because I've got a wee rip in my driver's seat too. It's got a bit of storage under the armrest as well, and it's also got the storage for your drinks over on that side as well. Okay, so it doesn't just have that drink holder, which I raised my eyebrows when I first got this. I'm like, it's only got one drink holder, there's nothing else. I'm like, oh, this is proper poverty spec because it only had one, but it actually has three in the front. So you do the maths, there's two people in the front, why would you want three drink holders? I don't know, no logic in that anyway. But it is what it is, guys. At least you have seen it, and got my honest opinion on it, and as I say, it's not a professional review I've done on this. I just think it's kind of like an off the cuff, like this is what I got as a hire vehicle, and I'm not keen on it, to be honest. The outside of the vehicle is very plain Jane, but it could be spruced up with a nice set of side skirts, with a nice set of running boards at the side, a lovely set of wheels, and I don't know, it definitely needs something. A canopy, definitely needs a canopy, and some nice big plastic arches would work wonders on this, and colour-coded accents as well, because the black just doesn't do it any justice. It's just far too basic for my liking. And obviously stronger headlights as well, because I wouldn't say that they're the brightest. Lovely big front end on it, I think they mean business when you see one of them coming up behind you, but when you look at it from the side you're like, oh my god, that is rank looking. But again, see, if you spend about £1,000 on it getting bits and pieces, you can make this thing look absolutely beautiful. The back end has a solid look about it as well. It's quite a sturdy big bus, and it does do well off-road, don't get me wrong. It's just the way the setup is on it, because it's modern electrics, it's not really for me. My best advice, if you do pick one of these up and you plan to hold on to it for a good while, get it in and get it wax oiled underneath, because the older ones did suffer with a lot of rust on the chassis, and you don't want the cracking at the back like the Navaras and the old L200s as well. Just preserve it and keep it as good as you can. But for this being the poverty spec, it's not for me. I definitely would consider getting one of these if it didn't have all that mumbo jumbo, AdBlue, DPF crap, whatever. I would be kind of pushed towards getting something like this, but it would need to be a top spec. It really, really would. But what it lets it down for me is the AdBlue and the DPF, and I know I keep going on about this. Quite a lot of wee niggles that bug me about this, but if you put a bit of time into the vehicle, you could get it looking absolutely cracking. But for this year one, not for me. So for that, I'm out. So guys, what did you think of that? My unofficial review on the Toyota Hilux Active. I would say I've been really, really brutal. However, it's modern technology, I'm old school, and it's hard to move with the times. That could be somebody's dream vehicle. It's just, in comparison with what I was using beforehand, it's a bit of an anticlimax. It's a sturdy big pickup, don't get me wrong, and it does exactly what it says in the tin. It's just how it does it is the other thing. That's the bit that I'm kind of not moving with. So I've got my L200 back. I'm over the moon that I've got it back. I'm not over the moon that the body shop didn't sort the back part like they were asked. I had asked whenever it was dropped off how much extra would it be to do that bit at the back while it's in getting the insurance work. But the guy basically suggested something else, and I was like, well, if you can't do that, do it, but just let me know. And he didn't. So basically the front of my L200 is looking beautiful. I took it and got it validated, so it is looking beautiful, apart from the damage at the back. So it'll need to come off for all over again. It was an absolute pointless exercise. All I wanted was my Jeep to come back with lovely bodywork all round, and I didn't mind paying. So whatever business turns down work, I don't know. I really, really don't know. But as I keep saying, it is what it is. Can't keep crying over spilt milk. But anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed my video, because I didn't. So at least if you enjoyed it, at least somebody got some enjoyment out of it. But I'll catch you in the next video. I don't know when, I don't know where, but I'll see you in the next video. Alright guys, 10-10 over and out.